All right, folks. I know I'm a little late. We had a little technical difficulties. I know what the problem is now. We won't have these technical difficulties in the future. So my problem is my Wi-Fi adapter is terrible. I got that fixed. I got a new adapter coming. So hopefully we won't have none of these technical snafus anymore. So who all we got out there tonight? We got Joe. Hey Joe, what's going on? Wide Body Mike, what's happening? I know Jay was in. There's Jay. There we go. We got her fixed, man. We got her fixed. Oh man, Wi-Fi adapters, man, you gotta hate them, right? I don't know. For some reason, mine is terrible. So I ran out, got a super long Ethernet cable, plugged it in the back of the router, restarted everything, and now we're good to go. So that's the fix for tonight. I'll have a new Wi-Fi adapter. I think it's tomorrow or Friday, and hopefully we won't have these problems again. But anyway, on to bigger and better things. And when I say bigger and better things, I mean bigger and better things. We finally beat Mike into submission, and we have a date for the new install, folks. So the week of July 10th is when we're going to do the new, not the new, but the forged motor, swap everything over. Got a few sneaky things coming, but nothing too huge. You guys already know the major things that are coming. Just some upgrades. So we're gonna drop the pulley a little bit. We're going to Gary, what's going on, brother? Thank you, man. I appreciate it for the super chat. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. You know the deal. That's going into everything we're purchasing for Shake and Bake, buddy. You know that's what's happening with it. Yeah, we're gonna already have a smaller pulley. We're going to upgrade the injectors, obviously, because we're gonna need more injector. We also got a custom grind cam coming from Modern Muscle Extreme. So we got a new cam coming as well. Let's see. And you guys know the deal. The high ram, the tick intercooler, and all the other stuff. You guys have seen it already. So all of that stuff is going to be crammed into Shake and Bake come the week of July 10th. I'm already working with Dave to get a tuning session with him, because we're going to need that once we make all these swaps. Get a tuning session with him, get Shake and Bake hopefully tuned in the week of the 17th, and we can hit the track that weekend, which should be the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, somewhere around in there. That's if everything goes smooth. You know the deal. Nothing ever really goes that smooth, right? But hopefully, cross my fingers, everything goes smooth. We get everything done the week of the 10th, and then move on to getting her tuned the week of the 17th. So that's the plan, folks. I'm excited. I'm super excited. Is it July 10th? Is that tomorrow? I'm waiting on July 10th. Waiting on July 10th. So that's the plans. And then my goal for the new build, at least mid 9s, and then obviously we're gonna have to get the transmission built. There's no doubt about that. We'll worry about that a little bit further down the road, but I know we're gonna have to get the transmission built and all of that. But yeah, we're gonna give it the old hoo-ha, and we're gonna try and make it work. So that's the plans for Shake and Bake. I got that news today, man. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. What I forgot to say is I went with a red eye hood because I think with the two little cowls going down the side, and then the cutout in the middle for the high ram and the tick intercooler, I think it'll look pretty mean. and then we'll either leave it uncovered or figure out some kind of cowl or something to cover it up. We'll see. I may just buy a car cover and cover her up every time after the track, or when it looks like it's going to rain, I put the cover on. So yeah, we're thinking about that. So we're thinking about, keeping her as streetable as possible, but yet going fast. All right, let's get into some of the comments here. All right, Joe, getting an RT. Awesome, buddy. This week getting it delivered from Arizona. Man. Yeah, having a cold sucks. Colds can get to you, man. They really can. And then Gary, thanks again, brother, man. I appreciate it. Every penny helps, that's for sure. Brandon, what's up? So I reached out to Pro Charger about the F1X. It will fit, but will require some modification on the driver's side fender for clearance. Okay. Nice. Oh, now you got me thinking. Do I go the F1A94 or go the F1X? Ooh. Yeah, big plans now, right? Oh, wide body's wondering why you're going with the F1X. Let's see what happens. Armani, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you chiming in, man. It's not going to. It might be possible without the intercooler, but it just doing the measurements, it's just not going to fit. I'm going to put a high ram on the Challenger. Yeah, I just, you know what? When we get to that point, I may try it just to see if it fits. I don't know if you want to wait until the week of the July 10th, but there's been a few people ask me that question, so I may just throw the high ram on there with the shaker hood just to see if it fits, and maybe put that up on Instagram. So Brandon's replying to Mike, saw it on Trade Performance, was curious about it since nobody sells Pro Chargers offers the kit. Did some research and you have to cut the fender a bit for clearance. Okay. Don, that blower's way too big for a 5.7. I hear you, Jay. I hear you. Go big or go home. I know. We'll figure it out, Jay. I'm gonna ask the question, but I may just stick with the F1A94. Yeah, I'm with you, Brandon. I'm not sure I want to. Now that I think about it, I don't think I want to cut the fenders. That's getting into to wide body Mike's range, starting to make it more race car than a street car. Jay saying F1A is great. Mike saying it's got to clear the valve covers as well. So yeah, that's, and Mike and I have talked about this before about, the bigger Pro Chargers, and the F1A 94 is plenty. Yeah, Armani, I really don't think it's going to make it. Just re-looking at the measurements, and especially with the tick intercooler, right? There's a small chance it may fit with the high ram by itself, and then you can get like a Mishimoto or something, water to air, and put it in front of the radiator, kind of like where wide body Mike has his, and do it that way. That's also an option. I just went with the tick intercooler because one, the only people I've up on YouTube, I've only seen one person use that particular setup specifically on a 5.7, a um, Frostbite RAM. He's got the high RAM with a tick intercooler in his RAM, but I haven't seen anyone do it on the Challengers or Chargers. So there is a guy on YouTube, tall guy with a Hemi. He did the high RAM on his Charger, cut it out, and put a cowl on top of it. So there's some options out there. Why are you whining to me, Bean? Hmm? Bean being a whiner. Mike says the F1 is trash. So yeah, Mike, you bring up a point, right? What's your horsepower goal? Where do you think you're gonna be at? Ah, Jay, now you got me thinking about the crank mount. No, I can't do that. And party all the time, you know it, Jay. Joe, you guys know if Lucas or similar things help cushion Hemi tick with the RT I'm getting has 120K on it, but it was the best price I could find, but I'm anticipating some tick 2018 if that matters. Yeah, I see Mike's answer right below. Just change the lifters. Just get Hellcat lifters and non-MDS lifters, which people call Hellcat lifters. They're just non-MDS lifters. Now, do you want out or what? Boy, I'm not coming up and down. You're going out, you're staying out. All right, you're staying in there. So Jay's saying use a different type of oil. You could do that as well. Boo. You guys are killing me tonight, Boosted Hemi, man. I appreciate the super chat, buddy. I appreciate that 100%. You don't know what that means. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to Shake and Bake, because y'all know I say it all the time. Every red penny from YouTube goes back into Shake and Bake, and that's it. This is going to be some money well spent. I promise you. Mike saying if it's got MDS, you can't change the weight. Joe, don't exactly plan on tearing it down for a while, but when I get to that point, I want to do a full rebuild forge. Yeah, absolutely. Once you crack it open, you might as well go all the way at that point. That's why I never gapped my rings. Y'all heard me say it 1,000 times. I never gapped the rings because if I'm going to crack the engine open just to gap some rings, that's a lot of work just to gap rings and put it back together. If you're going to crack the motor open, you might as well forge everything while you're in there. Yeah, I figured the crank option would be super expensive, and I'm sure there's probably a lot of some fabrication in there to make all that stuff fit. And I figured it'd probably be expensive, but it would definitely would never have to worry about belts again. That's for sure. But again, Boosted Hemi and Gary, thanks for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Jay saying he changed the weight in his oil, so it's a possibility. Yeah, Joe, there you go. It's for the shake. All right, boosted heavy. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. I really do. 100%. Yeah, and Mike, I think that's what Joe's looking for is a band-aid. Just until he can get it to the point where he can do a full tear down and full rebuild. I got you, Jay. Well, Jay, you're starting again. You're starting kind of from scratch. So your motor was already cracked open. Okay, go ahead and do the rings. But I'm just saying, if you're starting with an engine that's already put together, you might as well forge it while you're in there. But Brandon, open question for y'all about compression ratio. Eagle 5.7s have 10.5 to 1. I believe it would be beneficial when going with Molly forged pistons to go 10.4 or 12.0. That, Brandon. That's a good question for Jay and Mike. That's well beyond my knowledge. I'll leave it to one of them to answer that question for you. Yeah, Joe. If you're, and that's really why I started my YouTube channel, right? I met Incredible Hemi. He's like, "Why aren't you doing a YouTube channel?" I met RT Life. We were friends for about a year or so before I started my YouTube channel, and they were both like, "Well, why don't you start a YouTube channel? You're out here anyway." And eventually, I got to the point. I wish I would have started the channel when I started, the NA modifications. But you're in a good spot. You're 100% in a good spot to start a YouTube channel. Building a 5.7, right? Because you're really starting from scratch, right? I mean, you could start doing videos on looking for the car, purchasing the car, shipping the car, receiving the car, tearing down the engine. Dude, you've got a multitude of freaking videos you can make. Starting at the beginning of the build, 100%. I kick myself in the rear end for not doing it earlier. But like I said, you're in the perfect position to start one because you're gonna have more content than you can think of. And if you need some advice on content, just shoot me something on Instagram and I can give you a few. Jace talking to Joe saying he's already got that. Brandon's going boost. Yeah, Mike. Mike, those were my thoughts. 9.5 to 10. 9.5 to 10, 10.5. I think mine is right around 10, I think is what Chris told me. And that really depends on what head gaskets we choose. And then we're going to obviously make sure that the push rods are good to go too. But Jay's coming in with the same thing, 9.5 to 1. And he's ran 10.5 to 1. So there you go. 9.5. If you're going boost, 9.5 to 10.5. Those were my thoughts. I just didn't want to throw it out there, and then Mike and Jay come back like, Don, you're stupid. That's not the right one. I got to be more confident in what experience I do have. 12.5 one's too high for daily driving. Joe's going back to Jay. All right, Joe. Jay, you're a 100% honest guy, man. You are definitely 100% honest guy. But Jay, dude, you do put out a lot of good information. You do. Um, you do. And I promise you, you're only going to get better. The more stuff you do, the more content you do, the more comfortable you're going to be in front of the camera, and you're just going to get better. Go back and look at some of my first videos. if you want to see, if you want to see some crappy stuff, it's like I don't even know why people watch this stuff. I watch it and I'm cringing. I'm like, man, that's terrible. But I'm telling you, the more you're in front of the camera, the more comfortable you're going to get, and you'll start getting rid of all the ums and the uhs and repeating yourself. Even though I do it a lot still, I repeat myself. Some people hit me up on it like, man, you need to stop repeating yourself. Well, I got to get 8 minutes in a video somehow. Because you got to have 8 minutes to make it a video that you put ads in. So you got to have at least 8 minutes. Some people don't understand that. Some people don't get it, but sometimes you got to stretch. You got to stretch things out to make it go 8 minutes. Yeah, Jay, you're 100% right, man. You can go back to. I know it's painful to go back through some of these lives, but you don't necessarily have to listen to me rattling stuff off. Just go through the chat, and I'm telling you that people have asked so many questions. You go back through some of these lives, you're probably going to find the information you're looking for, because we talk a lot and Jay and Mike and other folks in the channel put out a lot of good information. And normally that's what we wind up sitting here talking about is doing builds and what compression ratios, what piston should I use, what rod should I use, what crank should I use. All of those have been questions, and probably multiple times in a lot of these chats, right? So, we do answer a lot of the same questions every week, but it is what it is. It keeps me chatting for an hour and keeps you guys hopefully somewhat entertained for an hour, and then we go on about our business. Jay's asking Mike what ratio he went with. 5.3 Tahoe build. Oh, that'd be sweet, Joe. That'd be sweet. And different, right? I haven't dabbled too much in the LS stuff, but doing a 5.3 Tahoe, yeah, it could be interesting. Could be something that nobody's done out there. But there is a lot of LS content out there, really. I mean, there's a lot of all three of the manufacturers, there's a lot of content out there. But you just got to find something different, and I think a Tahoe build would definitely be different, man, for sure. And Jay's just reiterating what I just said. There's a lot of information on the LS out there. Yeah, Brandon, but you got to be careful. You got to be careful when you're running boost, and how much boost you're running. Really, there is some truth to what you're saying, but keep in mind the higher the compression, the more compression you're putting in your engine, right? The more wear and tear you're putting on the pistons and the rods. So it's a delicate balance, let's say. And Joe, you bring up a great point, man. that's why everyone says LS swap the world, right? Because it's easy. There's a gazillion of them out there, and it's fairly cheap until you get into the big power. Once you get into the big horsepower, we're all expensive. It doesn't matter if it's an LS, a Coyote or a Hemi. Once you get into big power, everything's expensive. Jay, Jay, I'm blowing it up for the Hemi community. Take one for the team, Jay. You're the man. That's 100% true. You know, uh, that's how a lot of people learn, Jay, is trial by fire. And I've been trialing by fire, and I just haven't hit that. I haven't hit that fire range yet. Bruce, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Yeah, see, Jay's bringing up the point, right? Detonation, and yeah, there's when you get into those higher compressions with boost, it just creates more problems than what they're worth, and that's why people say 9.5 to 10 and a half. I mean, 10.4, you know, I guess you'd be okay. Again, it depends what fuel you're running. E85, you tend to be able to run a little bit higher compression, supposedly, from what I heard. I could be wrong, and I could get beat up by Jay and Mike for saying that, but from what I've heard, you know, if you run E85, you can run a little bit higher compression and still be safe. What's up, Bruce? Hey, Brandon, no problem, buddy. Anytime, anytime. All right, Jay's. What's up to Bruce? Bruce is back to Jay. Jay's next build is a 5.7 stroke to a 6.1 VVT build. I have some math to do, but I think it will be a better solution than the Temp 5.7 build. All right, all right. Blow the engine into a 426. All right, Brandon. Bruce, would you guys get a used throttle body for Fastman or send their own in? It all depends, man. If you want to, it all depends on you. So if you're using your car for a daily driver, yeah, get a used one, and send it in. I think I got a 5.7 one in the garage. If anybody wants one, I got a stock 5.7 one. You need something to last 6 months, Jay. I hear you. That's it, Bruce. If you don't ask, you can't learn. That's the deal. That's the deal in this chat. You got to ask, and you got to ask fast, because usually the chat starts moving. Once I start talking, the chat starts loading up. Yeah, I agree with that, Jay. 100%. Matter of fact, I'll have my Hellcat one for sale once I do the swap. So there's going to be a bunch of stuff for sale once I do the swap. What all I'm going to have for sale, I don't know, but there's going to be a boatload of stuff for sale. Let's see where we're at. Let's do the other mic. Boom. All right, so what happened? What happened, Bruce? You got me hanging now. Hey, whenever you're ready, Jay, I'm good, buddy. I'm good. Because it's just gonna go to order new. It's just gonna go into ordering more stuff for Shake and Bake. Yeah, so once I do the swap, I'm gonna do probably do a garage sale on Instagram, put everything up there. Someone's already wants my intake. I'm guessing he'll probably take the throttle body as well. Um, you bought 850 DRs, got them Monday, and got another set today. Nothing wrong with that, Bruce. Right? Not sure how that happens sometimes, but hey, take advantage while you can, because that's not going to happen all the time. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there Friday night. Uh, you know what I mean? Uh, if it's not going under the knife until the 10th, I might as well get some more runs out of it and see what we can do. May talk to Dave. Hey Dave, add a little bit more fuel in there so I can put a bigger jet in there. We'll see what happens. We'll see where it goes. Joe, I really want to see what RT Life's charger can do when he gets back. He gave an update a while ago, said it shouldn't be too much longer, but somewhere said he might be done with mods. He is. Talking to him, I'm pretty sure he's done modifying. I'm pretty sure he's done modifying the charger. He may do some small things to the Challenger, but I think he's gonna for his 392 Challenger. I think he's just gonna keep it NA and keep it a daily driver, and maybe do some visual mods. He's not going big time into that, and like I said, I think he's done with the Charger. I don't know. He may go to the track, down there in Florida. I don't know 100% what his plans are, but yeah, it is what it is. He's had quite a time with that Charger. It's been down quite a while for sure. Yeah, Bruce, it's cool, man. Hey, you get 2 sets, hang on to them. I hope it doesn't bite you. I hear you, Bruce. Hey, check your bank account. Make sure they didn't double charge you. Yeah, there you go, Jay. Hey, you can send it. Hey, if you're iffy about it, send them back. Especially if they charge you again. If they charge you for 4, send the other 2 back and get your refund, man. But I tell you, mistakes are mistakes, man. I've heard stories where people get iPads and all kinds of crap through Amazon, and it's just cheaper for Amazon to say just keep it, and they'll send another one to whoever they're supposed to send it to. So it happens with Amazon all the time. They're always sending the wrong stuff to people, and normally they just say keep it. So I'd be willing to bet if you said, "Hey, you guys sent me an extra pair," I would be willing to bet they would just say, "Just keep them." I know, right? RT Life should have moved here with us, right? Incredible Hemi's the same way. He should move up here with us, and all of us would be going to that guy right over there, or right over there. We'd all be going to that. He's already been going to bike from New Jersey, but yeah, basically he moved down there because his wife got a job down there. That's why he moved to Florida. And it's not only that, Joe. It's so y'all have to understand, right? At least for now, YouTube is his job, right? So if he's not making money on YouTube, he's not making bill payments, he's not making rent payments, so on and so forth, right? So YouTube is his sole source. Him and his wife, obviously, but I mean, for him, It's his sole source of income is YouTube, and the modification videos. I mean, he gets, you know, 8,000-10,000 when he does a modification to the car, but that doesn't, for him, it doesn't cover the modifications, right? It's yeah, it's tough. For me, I'm out there doing it anyway, so that's, you know, and on a good month, I'm in the $275 range. And really that's just mostly racing. So some of the install videos, they really don't do very well. So he'll make a, you know, go back and look, he'll make a goal video and get over 1 million views, or he'll do the, what was the one he just did? He got over 1 million views. The, unstoppable charger or whatever it is there in Arizona. They kept getting away from the cops. He did that video and got, I think he's somewhere around 2 million views now. So that's what people want to see. That's kind of what he's got to gravitate to, so he can continue to make money. Yeah, that's the gist for RT Life. So when you start seeing all these news videos and and those other types of videos, that's kind of why, is he needs the views. He needs to be able to make money through YouTube, to support his family. Right? If I was trying to use YouTube to support my family, it'd never work, because I'm not even close to be able to do that. Anyway, enough on that. Bruce, okay, 285s are 2 inches smaller. Should be good. 26 and a half compared to 28.6. Oh man, Bruce. Yeah, going smaller tire. I'm sure Mike or Jay will come in here in a second, but a smaller tire, you're going to get more wheel speed, but I don't know if it's going to slow you down or not. Hey, I don't do that, sir. I go out to my garage only. All right. Take, shake, and make the Texas 2K. I do need to hit one of those 2K events one of these days. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Hashtag team home built. You know it, Jay. Mike did come up with that. That's for sure. He sure enough did. You know it, Bruce. There's way too much electronics and computers in cars nowadays. 70s days were much simpler, that's for sure. It right right, Jay. That's kind of what I was alluding to. It does change the effective gear ratio, but I think it's, so if you have a 309, I think it takes it down to like the 280 level or something like that. So it does hurt your gear ratio going to a smaller tire. Yeah, Jay, it is. It's if you don't have help, it's tough. It really is. Subscriber. So for me, my experience to get monetized on YouTube, the subscribers came fairly quickly, because I did have Incredible Hemi and RT Life helping me out on that aspect. But the watch hours is what was hard for me. It took me 7 months, I think, 6-7 months before I got the 4,000 watch hours. Yeah, it's definitely tough. That's for sure. Yeah, Bruce. Oh, that's right. You're a stick car too, aren't you? Yeah, you'd have to do the math to figure out what the change in the effective gear ratio. There's calculators out there. I think if you Google effective gear ratio calculators, um, I think you'll find that that's gonna lower your gear ratio, which will make it somewhat easier to launch. But yeah, you won't get the speed that you think. Uh, you're not gonna get that hard launch. I custom play the Wu Tang Clan in the background of my video. Watch the copyright stuff, man. Watch the copyright stuff. What size puller are you running or plan to upgrade to when you switch to the F1A94? Brandon, that's a good question. So what I'm running now is I've got a 3/6 pulley, upper pulley now with the 18% lower. I'm going to go to a 3/2 pulley, which maxes out per ProCharger's website, right? You can always overspin them. There's always some leeway room there. I just don't know what that is. So that's why I went with a 3/2 pulley. Puts me right at just over 62,000 RPMs at 6,500, I think. RPMs for the car, which 62,000 is the max for the D1X. I'm not sure what the max is for the F1A94. Really, that'd kind of be a Mike question because he's running the F1A94. So he is back in. Good. Mike did pop back in. But for my D1X, like I said, I'm on a 3/6 pulley now, going to a 3/2, and that pretty much maxes it out. Ooh, so hell with launching, but you run out of gear at the top end. Yeah. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate it. Yeah, Texas 2K, be humbling people. My 430 5.7 wouldn't stand a chance down there. Yeah. You know what? My 10-second 5.7 wouldn't stand a chance down there. Those Texas guys are serious, man. Serious. Mike's going back to Brandon. 3.7 with an 18%. Made 19.5 PSI boost with the F1A94. That's kind of where I want to be, Mike, is in that 19 to 20 range. Yeah, Jay, and that's like I said, it's kind of where I started. I wasn't too worried about monetization, but if you're doing it, you might as well get a little change for it, right? But back then I was churning out videos, and it was just filler video after. If you go back and look at the beginning of the channel, it is all filler stuff, and it's stuff that's been done 1,000 times. 5 things I love, 5 things I hate, all of that stuff. And then it was literally almost a 2 or 3 day vlog of me going to get tires or me doing an oil change or just video after video just to try and get that watch time, right? So it's a grind if you do want to get monetized to hit that 4,000 watch hours. Like I said, I can put you on the channel. We can try and get someone, maybe RT Life or something to put you on his channel. You'll get the subscribers. It's just that watch hours is tough. Brandon, going back to Mike, is that the most efficient pulley to run? What numbers did you make? All right, so Mike, that's back to you, buddy. Do I tune in the tire size or leave it as is? Bruce, you want the tire size calculated in the tune? Absolutely. Yep. Jay, you nailed it. Thanks, buddy. Definitely getting an 8 rib over a 6 rib that comes with the kit. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Mike, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're still on the 6 rib, right? I think he's still on the 6 rib. Moving to an 8 rib is expensive because you got to change all the other pulleys too. All right, Bruce. Thanks, buddy. You're welcome. Yeah, wide body's back in the house. Back in the house. So he was over 1100, mind you. PG Forge spec cam. Yeah. All right. Mike's going back to Brandon. Jay's asking what the compressor ratio is. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Easily run some big boost. It depends upon your definition of big boost. I, Jay, I think they do. Don't quote me on that. I think the GT 500s do have 8 ribs. I think they do. But I'm sticking with six rib for now. You know, Brandon, we may have to go to that 8 rib sooner or later. But I'm gonna stick with the 6 rib as long as I can. Yep, Jay, I do. I have the tensioner from the GT 500. Um, but it is a pretty thick tensioner though. So it may be able to fit an 8 rib, an 8 rib on there. I know. I bought mine from HHP, and I'm pretty sure it's the GT 500 one, if I'm not mistaken. And they come with a little spacer to make sure it fits for the 6 rib. Here's a 10. Ooh, big boosted Hemi going 10 rib, buddy. that's a big belt. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna stick with the six rib as long as possible because it is pretty expensive to swap to the 8 rib stuff. That's true, Jay. But hey, if you want to run the boost, you got to have a good tensioner. That's kind of key. All right, Brandon. So it does work for both 6 and 8 rib. Yeah, that's the I got Brandon. That's the tensioner I got from HHP, and I've had no issues with that tensioner at all. While we're on HHP, I love HHP. Literally, it wasn't the one at the track. It was the one before the track. I shredded a belt, wrapped it up. I mean, it was in there. Literally destroyed the tensioner. And I went back to HHP. I told them the truth. Hey, look, I'm just asking. Uh, and they just said, hang on to your spacer and we'll send you a new tensioner. You know, those guys are great. I love HHP. So far, like I said, I don't know if y'all saw my Instagram post on folks I've used. HHP has been great. Beefcake Racing has been awesome. They are great as well. MMX, they've been awesome. I know some people have issues with Speed Logics, but I bought a few things from Speed Logics. Never had a problem with them. Yeah. All right. Boom. We're at that 10 o'clock mark. You know the deal at 10 o'clock. Brandon, you want the American Racing Billet 50-pound race tensioner. Ooh, that's a big, heavy tensioner. Yes, sir. Yeah, I hear you. All right, Booster said the Hellcats are 10 rib. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've used Speech Logics for. I don't use them for any of their performance parts. It's just cosmetic stuff. Matter of fact, I got their sunglasses gauge pod that I'm going to use eventually. All right, folks, that's it for tonight. I appreciate y'all chiming in. Who was it? Gary and Boosted Hemi. Thanks for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Shake and Bake definitely appreciate it. Y'all hear me 1,000 times. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, because you guys are the ones why I keep going. But that's it for tonight, folks. We got a video coming out tomorrow. Thanks again, Boosted Hemi. I appreciate it. We got a video coming out tomorrow. I may have, I don't want to say misrepresented, but it's basically a timeline from when I started making videos running 12.0s and high 11s to the 999 I ran the other week. But it's all races and pretty much mostly PBs from timestamp to timestamp, and then I threw the dyno videos in between, and I tried to explain overarching what the mods were in the video as well. So take a look, see what you think, and if I need to do a modification video from way back then to now, I can try and put something like that together. But yeah, I got a few ideas of some new videos to try and put out there. Because really, I'm probably I usually go racing at least once or twice. When I go twice, I can get 3 or 4 videos. Where I go once, I only get 1 or 2 videos. And then I got to find something to fill videos with. So always looking for content ideas. If you got content ideas, shoot them to me on Instagram and see what we can do. Jay, he's like, you need to move out here with us, bro. Hey, I hear you, Brandon. Moving in the military. Hey, every couple years, always moving, always on the move. Know the deal. But anyway, that's it for tonight, folks. Catch that next video tomorrow. I definitely appreciate it. Shake and Bake definitely appreciate it. That's it for this one, folks. Till next time. Adios.